secrets for generating more leads from your real estate blog using IDX Broker. Basically what this is going to break down to is taking your blog post that you have, whether it's going to be about real estate specifically or about certain things in your community such as new businesses, new developments, places to eat, kind of stuff like that, adding real estate listings to that specific area. So we're going to do things on mine. I created 2 blog posts, one for a specific high school, and we're going to go create a predefined search using Showcase widget for that one and pulling in listings for a specific high school. So all listings in that area. And then we're going to do one off of a new business development or new business that landed in our area that has been huge talk of conversation for the last 2 years when it was going to be opening. Now it has opened. So when you create real estate blogs, you don't necessarily want to create blogs specifically for subdivisions, communities. Those are good, but you also want to draw people to your website using other content such as businesses, restaurants, eateries, hangouts, venues, whatever it may be. So we're going to take and show you how to create them off of these 2 specific examples, high school and a business. Businesses can be a little bit different. You can do it by a radius, which is what we're going to do, which is going to be a polygon feature. And then the other one is going to be done using the advanced search field. So on my website is just jefftrue.com. And then I've got 2 blog posts that I've already done. We'll pull those up. So I did one for a Whole Foods market. So Whole Foods has been in the talks for about 2 to 3 years about joining our little community. It is now here, been a very big topic, lots of foot traffic, big lunches, big dinners, everything. They kind of opened up a new section where you can dine there, you can build a little buffet and eat there, and then your standard grocery shopping as well. So I basically just did a blog post about Whole Foods Market lands in Eugene, Oregon. When people go to do a Google search, could potentially become very big because Whole Foods is a very talked about thing in our area. So people are going to be, just as everybody does, pulls out their phone and Googles new information, new areas, new developments, whatever it may be. So this one here, I'm not specifically trying to draw traffic in just on the real estate side. You want to capitalize on being involved in your community, knowing what's going on in your community, and what are people in your community going to be talking about. Well, this was one that's really huge for us, so we're going to capitalize on that to try to capture more leads for somebody that's just talking about looking at Whole Foods. So we're going to go, I grabbed an image, I grabbed some content about Whole Foods, coming to the area, about this whole thing, and at the very bottom of it, just kind of ends. All it is just specifically. So what you want to do is you want to kind of capitalize on this additional lead, possibly, is show them listings that are within this area. It could be somebody who wants to, would like to move closer to it, or coming into the area that likes, specifically organic foods. This might be a potential to get that organic traffic. So what I want to do here is this one here, we're going to use Polygon tools to create a saved link using a carousel widget. So a carousel widget is going to let you display 3 to 4 listings or 5 wide, and it carousels through 3 or 4 or 5 at a time. So it's a little bit different. It's not as big and bulky, not a whole bunch of listings. It will display prices highest to lowest, and hopefully you can draw traffic in from those, in from there. So I wouldn't necessarily change your title on new developments, new areas. Draw them in that way. We'll try to capture a click from the bottom of those pages. So to start off, what I want to do is go into your IDX Broker dashboard, click on Designs. We want to go Widgets, Create, select a type of widget. So I mentioned that I'm going to do a carousel widget on this one. Properties to feature. Polygon search. This is a platinum only feature. And so for this particular area, I'm going to try to center it inside the map specifically, which is going to be right over here. Coming in Coburg Road, you got Mill Alley. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to actually center it inside the map, and I'll come back just a little bit. So I think what would be best for me on this particular one is I want to try to get houses within a certain or close to this. This particular area runs into the university. It also runs into downtown inside the commercial district. So it's kind of hard to specifically say, and it's not its own zip code or anything like that. So we're going to try to pull in based off of like a radius search is, I think, the best way to pull it off of this. So something within like a 3-mile radius or 4-mile radius would even be good. We'll stick with 3. We should be able to get plenty of listings from within this area. So you got 2 little tools over here. You've got the polygon tool, and then you've got the circle, which allows you to draw the radius. So you want to click on the center portion of this, or that in the location where it's going to be. You press and hold it down, and we're going to drag it out. As you can see, it's going to cover quite a bit of an area. We'll do so right there's a 2-mile radius. We're going to zoom out a little bit just so we can see it. So me knowing this area, which is going to be different for you guys in your own areas, so I'll be able to pull in listings within a 2-mile radius. We should definitely pull in, looks like we got 4 different zip codes, so it's going to really kind of change it up, but we don't want to do everything on the outskirts of that. So we're going to stick with the 2-mile radius, so 4 miles all around. We're going to drop down, and keep in mind too, when you create these, the elevation that you put on these is also going to be what can be shown on results pages if you're doing it on a saved link. When you're doing it on a widget, it's only going to display just the listing, so you don't necessarily need to worry about this one too much. We'll select our MLS. For this one here, I'm going to pull in strictly residential. If you leave your minimum price, maximum price blank, everything else, anything. Your widget options, responsive, yes. I suggest leaving them yes. That way, if somebody's viewing it on a tablet, a phone, or a computer, it's going to be sure and shrink down as the container shrinks down. And we'll do Whole Foods, Eugene, listings. Price to highest, lowest. So we got maximum columns. This one here, you can choose it 1 up to 10. Typically 3, 4, or 5 is going to be your best bet. Your images are still going to be a decent size, and the whole carousel should stretch across the screen. My container for my blog is fairly wide. It's about 900 pixels. So we're going to set mine at, we'll go 4, just to give us some room. You've got 2 different options here to open widget links in a new window. I kind of think that's a good idea. What that'll do is it can open up typically a new tab or a new window, most commonly done as a new tab. So that way your blog post can stay there. If they close this one down, they can go back to the blog post, and then it could also go back to that specific listing that's in there. Another option is to display view all results link. So right underneath or right above the widget gives the ability for your client to click on it and view all the listings rather than just what's inside that little window. So it'll display them all at one time. And I'll show you what that would look like once we get into this. So we're going to click Build Our Widget. So you always want to go make sure that you're getting listings off of this widget before you push it out anywhere. So you've got an option on the bottom left-hand corner that says Preview Widget. We want to click on this. It'll open it up, and we're just going to make sure that our listings do show up, that make sure that the containers on the outside that shows your arrows, make sure those are showing up as well. All right, so you can see we're displaying 4 listings wide, and it will carousel through these by the click of an arrow, and then it'll loop all the way back around as well, depending on how many listings there are. So you've got 2 options. You can grab the little script. This is going to be your embed script that you will put into your blog. Your blog post can be on any domain. So if you have multiple blogs out there, you can definitely do that. So you could right-click, copy this, copy that script. I can show you a different way, just in case you build one a little bit later, or you go back a little bit later and grab it. Show you where to grab that within your website. So we're going to go back to the widgets list. This is going to be the same thing as going to Designs, Widgets, and Manage. It's the exact same thing. So if you take a look, there's Whole Foods Listings Eugene. We've got our Edit widget. We can go in and redo anything that we need to update on it. If you're finding that it's not a specific area, you can go in and make your radius a little bit larger. Depending on what you want to do, it's completely customizable. If you want to go back and preview it again, you can do that. Or you got the left and right bracket here. That's where you can view the code. It'll pull up your script. We're going to copy it. We'll close this down. And what we'll do is we'll go into our blog post. So once we've already created that blog post, it's already up. We just want to add it on the bottom of it. So we're going to take Whole Foods. We'll go in and edit it. So let's say we want to put at the very bottom of this particular one. So we're going to enter down, and then we've got two separate tabs up here. You got a visual editor and a text editor. Since we grabbed the embed script, we're going to have to do it via the text editor. If you're using WordPress, which this is, which I'm not doing it this way, I'm going to show you how to do it just on the embed script for now, is you can add IDX shortcode and basically select where you want it to be, add your IDX shortcode. You've got IDX widgets, so if I were to go refresh my plugin, it'll actually pull in this particular widget. We can do it with the shortcode. Maybe I'll do that on the next one just to show you guys. It's pretty simple to do. You'll click on which one it is. I don't know, I might have to refresh it, but it may have already shown up in here. Yeah, it hasn't quite shown up. It hasn't quite shown up yet. So I did not go refresh the plugin to pull it in directly. All right, so what I want to do is I'm going to select my area in here, click on the text editor, and we're going to right click and paste. And this will add the embed script for the widget that you created. You'll want to preview your changes, make sure everything looking good. Get your blog posts, and your listings are popping in there. It looks good. So we'll go back, we'll publish this, and on our blog post we'll refresh the actual page that we're on. And at the bottom of the blog post it's going to display our listings. And then you'll also see right below so we'll be able to carousel through all these listings, or if your client wanted to, they can view all results. When you click on it, it's going to pull in all the results, and it's going to show it like a results page. So this is where I told you about setting the elevation basically of where this is at on your map. If you zoom in too close, you're not going to really be able to tell like all the areas around it. So if you set your elevation correctly, you're going to kind of know a little bit more about the city and what's around it and where things are at. And then everything else is going to pull in a result style view. So it does give your options or your client a couple of different options, and you'll be able to detect where this lead came from once they click on it as well. So you see, so the showcase carousel, it's very clean looking. It's pretty easy to add. It's going to be the same thing on the other one, but we're going to do it on a showcase style to show you more columns and rows and a different type of a search. So the other one that I'm going to do it on, we're going to go back to our regular blog page. So the other one I chose to do a little bit differently and talk real estate and give more examples and more information about real estate in a specific community. So this community happens to be in a high school on its own. It's the Willamette High School. It's in the Bethel-Danebo area, so it's considered West Eugene. On this page, it has just information about the high school, the market trends for the listings, or for listings, the median sales price, average sales price, and the average rent, the crime in the area, and then the commute in the area to downtown, to the general downtown business area. And then there's an embedded video on here too about the high school. So a little bit of information, but this particular one, you're trying to draw information, give information in regards to the market, but we're not capturing any leads based off of somebody going in here looking for listings. So we want to basically create a predefined search for listings within a certain area. So predefined search for Willamette High School. So we're going to go create another one here. So we'll go to Designs, Widgets, and we're going to create. This one here, we want to create a showcase widget. So this is going to allow you to display up to 100 listings at one time. So it could be larger. You could do a certain amount of rows and columns depending on what you want to do for your width and like how big the images are. On this particular one, it does need to use the advanced search field because we're using a specific add-on basically where there's not just city, price, and whatnot. So we're going to click on custom search, and we want to select an advanced search page. Select your market area if you've got multiples. Residential, subtype, okay, Eugene. And you can create multiple widgets and add to a blog post if you want to break them down by prices, separate prices, a lower one and a higher one. For my example, I'm going to remove it. If you want to do one that's got the newest listings for an area, you can do that. So you can set it as max days listed to any number that you'd like. So if you want to do all listings within a week, all listings within a month, you can definitely create widgets based on that. But for this one here, we're going to go High School. And we're going to go Willamette. So you can add additional filters as you want. You can break it down as far or as close as you want to whatever it may be. It could be all homes within Willamette High School that's on a golf course, one that's got gas hookup, got hay, heated, indoor. You can narrow it down. You can apply as many custom fields as you want. We're not going to be adding anything else because we want to strictly do Willamette High School. Again, with our widget options, we want to click on responsive to yes. So we're going to name that one Willamette Real Estate. We'll add a, there we go. Price highest to lowest, width 100%. Since it's responsive, it will not let us change it. It's going to use whatever container size is available. Rows is going to be the same thing. So we're going to do maximum number of columns. Columns is going to be left to right. Mine is a little bit larger, so we're going to drop it down to 5 wide. Maximum number of listings, you can bring it down if you want. So if we want to do 50, so there won't be quite as many, so it'll be the top 50, price highest to lowest. Again, the best way to do this is going to be open the widgets in a new window, and then also displaying the available link for your clients to look at. And we'll build our widget, and we do want to preview it, make sure that we are going to be pulling in some listings. So you can see here we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 wide. This is where the carousel kind of cleans it up. It's not going to make the page quite as big, which is a little bit nicer sometimes, and it will allow you to carousel through all of those listings. Okay, so these are all associated with Willamette High School. Looks like we're going to be good. So I'm going to close mine down. So instead of going the other direction, I'll pull it in, or you can pull it in this way. In fact, I think a good idea would be, I'll show you how to do one on the other one. Okay, so here's my information that I have on here. So we want to figure out what we want to add it. Do we want to add it above the video, below the video? If we add it below the video, it's probably not going to be as bad. If we put it above the video, that video might become obsolete. So what we'll do is we'll just shrink up the video. We don't need it very big. The client can always expand it out and go full screen if they want. We're going to drop it down, and we'll show all the listings down below that. So to add shortcodes, we're going to click IDX widgets. All right, so you can see from with me refreshing my API that my Whole Foods one Eugene did show up now. So if you create those, it will automatically update your API, but it does take some time. If you don't see it in there, always go in and refresh that API and it'll connect it all over there. So we're going to do Willamette High School Real Estate. You can always preview it if you want. It's completely up to you. So you can see it's going to pull it in 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 wide. So it sounds good. So we're going to insert our shortcode. So when you insert a shortcode, it's going to be a little bit differently. It's not going to be within the text area. It's going to be on here. So once we update this page, we should see a smaller video about what we embedded in there. And then it should display all of our listings down below that. So here's our page. This is what we started with. Control F5 is going to do a hard refresh, so it will clear everything that is cached in. Looks like my video didn't center. I tried to center it, but it's not, for some reason, taking it. Not a big deal. And then you'll see we've got all of our listings that are going to generate on here. So 2 different options as far as displaying those widgets, whether it's a carousel or a showcase. Some people like to have the thumbnails because when you scroll down it's easier to see the front image or the primary image that's on the listing. So it's 2 different ways to be able to capitalize and try to get that organic traffic, try to gain an extra lead off of somebody looking for 2 separate types of things, something real estate specific in a high school or something that's new to the community. Thank you guys all for joining me and have a great afternoon.